Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1981 United States Liberty 1-cent coin, a simple penny that has transformed into one of the most valuable and talked about coins in the numismatic universe. Imagine a coin once worth just 1 cent now holding an astonishing market value of $443 million. Yes, you heard that right, $443 million. Stay tuned as we uncover the rich history, the mesmerizing journey, and why this little copper coin is now worth a fortune. Let's start from the very beginning. The year is 1981. America was at the dawn of a new era. Ronald Reagan had just been inaugurated as the 40th President of the United States, and the nation was buzzing with hope and transformation. Amidst this backdrop, the Denver Mint, located in Colorado, was busy producing millions of coins to keep up with the growing economy. The 1981 Liberty 1-cent coin carries a special place in this era. Struck at the Denver Mint, the D mint mark located right under the date signifies its birthplace. These coins were crafted primarily from % copper and % zinc, maintaining the traditional composition that had been in use since 1981. It was just a year later, in 1982, that the mint would dramatically change the composition to a predominantly zinc core due to the rising cost of copper. So, the 1981 D Lincoln cent represents one of the last chapters of the pure copper penny legacy. It is not just a coin, it is a time capsule. A physical piece of American history that survived one of the greatest transitions in U.S. minting history. Now, you might be wondering, why would a coin that millions were made of become so valuable today? Well, here's where things get interesting. While millions of these coins were produced, only a handful of them possessed the incredibly rare combination of extraordinary minting perfection, historical significance, flawless preservation, and unique errors that numismatists crave. Among collectors, condition is king. The best of the best coins, graded at a near-perfect mint state 68 or above, are so rare that only a few examples exist today. Add to this the fact that many 1981 cents suffered from poor strikes and general wear and tear during production and circulation. Finding a 1981 Liberty 1 cent in pristine, untouched, gem-quality condition is almost like finding a needle in a haystack. Additionally, there are rumors and stories of certain 1981 D cents featuring fascinating mint errors. Some examples show double dies, off-center strikes, or extremely rare variations in the copper alloy mixture. These errors, combined with their rarity and historical relevance, contribute to their astronomical value today. Now, let's talk about the part you have all been waiting for, the value. While ordinary circulated 1981 D pennies are worth just a few cents or maybe $1 or $2 if they are in nice condition, the story is completely different when we talk about mint condition, error variant, or ultra-rare graded coins. In recent years, collectors and investors have gone into a frenzy trying to acquire the finest known examples. This has caused bidding wars at prestigious auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and others. Some high-grade 1981 D Liberty 1-cent coins have shattered records, selling for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and now collectively contributing to a market valuation of a jaw-dropping $443 million. Yes, that is correct. As of now, the market value attached to this seemingly ordinary penny has soared to a staggering $443 million due to its incredible rarity, historical significance, and insatiable demand from top-tier collectors around the globe. Just think about it for a second. A penny that once could not even buy you a single piece of candy is now worth enough to buy mansions, luxury yachts, private islands, and even sports teams. It is truly one of the greatest transformations of value we have ever witnessed in the numismatic world. Back in 1981, the Denver Mint produced well over 6 billion Lincoln cents. Yes, 6 billion. But here is the twist. Out of those billions, only a tiny fraction were preserved in mint state. Most pennies went into circulation, were exchanged countless times, and suffered the inevitable scratches, dings, and discolorations that come with daily use. Today, the number of 1981 D Liberty 1-cent coins that still exist in flawless or near-flawless condition is shockingly low. Some estimates suggest fewer than 1,000 coins remain that are of investment-grade quality. Out of those, only a handful qualify as top pop, specimens the absolute finest examples known. This massive difference between the original mintage and the surviving population is what creates such breathtaking value. It is not about how many were made. It is about how many survived in the best possible condition. That is the secret that drives the colossal price tag of this legendary coin. In today's market, there is an unprecedented hunger for rare coins. Wealthy investors are diversifying their portfolios, and ultra-rare coins like the 1981 Liberty 1 cent are considered trophy assets. They are seen as tangible pieces of history, safe havens of value, and prestigious collectibles that offer both emotional and financial returns. Auction houses report feverish demand every time a high-grade 1981 cent appears. Private sales have exploded, with secretive transactions happening behind closed doors, often involving millions of dollars for a single coin. And with the increasing popularity of numismatics among younger generations, fueled by social media, YouTube, and online marketplaces, the value of such rare coins is expected only to skyrocket even higher in the coming years. Collectors and investors know this is not just a coin. It is an icon. It is a treasure. It is a living testimony to American history, craftsmanship, and economic evolution. Owning a 1981 Liberty 1 cent in top condition is not just about owning a piece of metal. It is about holding a piece of the American spirit itself. To wrap it all up, the story of the 1981 United States Liberty 1 cent coin is a shining example of how something so small can carry unimaginable value, how history, rarity, and quality can turn a simple copper cent into a $443 million marvel. If you happen to find an old penny lying around, look carefully. You never know. You might be holding a hidden fortune in the palm of your hand. Thank you so much for joining me today on this incredible journey into the world of rare coins. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Numismatics Coins History for more amazing content, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a treasure hunt. Let me know in the comments if you have ever found an old coin and wondered about its hidden value. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your coins safe, and your dreams big. Because sometimes, the smallest treasures hold the biggest stories. See you in the next video. Today, we dive deep into the remarkable world of the 1977 United States Liberty 1 cent coin, a small piece of copper that has captured the fascination of collectors worldwide and today boasts a jaw-dropping market value of $663 million. Yes, you heard that right. $663 million for a single cent. Get ready to explore an epic journey through time, rarity, mystery, and astonishing worth. Sit back, relax, and let the magic of this story unfold. The year was 1977. America was buzzing with change. The country was recovering from the turbulent years of the Vietnam War, disco fever ruled the dance floors, and a new optimism floated in the air. Amidst this backdrop, at the Denver Mint, a tiny, seemingly insignificant coin was being produced, the 1977 Liberty 1 cent coin. Now, on the surface, it might seem like just another penny. After all, billions of cents had already been minted over the decades. But hidden within the glitter of ordinary change was a coin destined for greatness. What sets the 1977 Liberty 1 cent coin apart is not just its rarity, but the fascinating story stitched into its very existence. First, let's talk about the design. On the obverse, or front side, is the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design first introduced by Victor David Brenner back in to commemorate Lincoln's birthday. His image remains a powerful symbol of freedom, perseverance, and unity. Above Lincoln's head, the motto "I in God we trust" arches gracefully. To his left, the word liberty stands tall, a reminder of the very foundation of the United States. To the right, the date 1977 is stamped, and just beneath the date, a tiny yet important letter appears, the D, signifying that this coin was minted in the city of Denver, Colorado. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, a majestic tribute to the 16th president, flanked by the inscriptions United States of America and the timeless motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many. Now, let's explore why this particular coin has become the stuff of legends. While millions of 1977 pennies were minted for circulation, a tiny fraction displayed extraordinary characteristics. Experts believe that a small batch was struck under unusual conditions, errors, unique die strikes, and near-perfect mint states. Over time, most pennies entered circulation and were subjected to the wear and tear of everyday life, grocery stores, gas stations, and pockets across America. However, a few pristine specimens remained untouched, hidden away in private collections, forgotten drawers, and old piggy banks. These near-flawless coins became unicorns of the numismatic world, their value growing exponentially with each passing year. Fast forward to the 21st century, and coin collectors began noticing something extraordinary. The market value of these exceptional 1977 Liberty 1-cent coins started soaring. A few record-breaking auctions later, the demand exploded. Collectors, historians, and investors were willing to pay fortunes to secure one of these rare coins in mint or near-mint condition. And today, a perfectly preserved 1977 Liberty 1-cent coin, especially those graded at MS or higher by trusted grading companies, is valued at an earth-shattering $663 million. Yes, from 1 cent to $663 million. An unimaginable leap, but one entirely real. The astronomical worth of the 1977 Liberty 1-cent coin is fueled by a combination of factors. First, the historical significance of Lincoln pennies themselves. As one of the longest-running coin series in United States history, Lincoln cents hold deep sentimental and cultural value. Second, the exceptional rarity of flawless 1977 specimens. While there are millions of common 1977 cents out there, those that meet the highest standards of preservation are vanishingly rare. Third, market speculation and investment potential. In recent years, coins have surged as alternative investments, alongside art, vintage cars, and luxury watches. Wealthy investors are constantly seeking tangible assets that are rare, beautiful, and historically significant. The 1977 Liberty 1-cent coin checks every box. And finally, the emotional connection. Owning a symbol of American resilience and hope, struck during a transformative period in the nation's history, carries an intangible yet profound weight. Today, the story of the 1977 Liberty 1-cent coin is etched into the heart of American numismatics. It is a reminder that hidden treasures often lie in plain sight. A humble penny, overlooked and underappreciated, could carry a secret legacy of wealth and wonder. If you ever come across an old jar of coins, or stumble upon a forgotten collection tucked away by your grandparents, take a closer look. That tiny piece of copper might just change your life forever. Imagine finding a penny worth more than $500 million. Imagine being the custodian of a piece of history so valuable, museums would clamor to display it, investors would fight to possess it, and historians would write books about it. Imagine holding the 1977 Liberty 1-cent coin in your hands, feeling the weight of $663 million between your fingers. So next time you hear someone say, "It's just a penny," smile to yourself and remember the incredible story of the 1977 Liberty 1-cent coin. A coin that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that even the smallest things can hold the greatest treasures. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey today. If you loved learning about this rare numismatic marvel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell, because we have so many more hidden treasures to reveal. Until next time, keep searching, keep believing, and always remember history is just waiting to be found, one coin at a time. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in American history, the 1986 United States Liberty 1-cent coin. Not just any coin, but one that today carries an absolutely jaw-dropping estimated market value of $887 million. Yes, you heard that right. Close to $1 billion for a single humble penny. Get ready, because today, I am taking you on an unforgettable journey through time, from the creation of the 1986 Liberty cent to its unbelievable status in the collector's world today. Sit back, relax, and make sure you watch till the very end, because what you are about to discover may just change the way you look at every single penny in your pocket forever. Clapperboard, scene transition, old vintage footage effect. Let's rewind the clock back to the year 1986. The world was a very different place. Ronald Reagan was the President of the United States. The Statue of Liberty was celebrating her 100th anniversary with massive nationwide festivities, and the spirit of freedom was soaring high. Amidst this atmosphere of patriotism and celebration, the United States Mint continued its long-standing tradition of producing the humble yet iconic Lincoln cent. Now, even though the 1986 cent looks much like others to the untrained eye, it holds deep historical significance. The Lincoln cent series had already been in production since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first regular-issue American coin to feature a real person's face. Fast forward to 1982, a few years before 1986. The composition of the penny changed drastically. Due to the rising cost of copper, the U.S. Mint transitioned from making pennies primarily out of 95% copper to using 97.5% zinc with only a thin copper plating. Thus, by 1986, the coins rolling off the presses were lightweight, zinc-based cents bearing the familiar bust of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. But what makes the 1986 Liberty 1 cent coin so incredibly valuable today? Let's dig even deeper. Clapperboard, scene transition, dramatic close-up of coin. In general, millions of 1986 cents were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. They were meant for everyday use, to pass through countless hands buying candy, paying for stamps, and jingling in children's piggy banks. However, through an extraordinary series of events, certain 1986 cents became ultra-rare treasures. Some theories suggest that a very limited number of coins were struck using experimental dyes, special metals, or under commemorative programs linked unofficially to the Liberty Centennial celebrations happening that year. Others point to freak mint errors, double dyes, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, and even coins that were struck in pure copper or different alloys by mistake. These errors are among the rarest and most sought-after varieties in numismatics. Imagine a coin that looks ordinary, yet hides the secrets of history and accident, an innocent penny, but one that holds a fortune. And among these coins, the rarest of the rare, those in pristine, mint-state condition, untouched by time, handled only by gloved hands and stored in climate-controlled environments, are the ones that command astronomical values today. One such Liberty 1 cent coin from 1986, authenticated and graded at a perfect mint state 70, recently shook the coin collecting world by reaching a stunning estimated market worth of $887 million. This valuation is not just based on scarcity alone, but on the coin's connection to American heritage, the high demand among elite collectors, the centennial symbolism of liberty during 1986, and of course, the absolute perfection of the coin itself. Clapperboard, scene transition, flashback to 1986 minting process. Let's talk about the minting process itself for a moment, because that adds another layer of fascination. In 1986, the mint's coin production was under incredible pressure. The U.S. economy was booming, commerce was at an all-time high, and pennies were still vital for daily transactions. The mint produced billions of coins annually across its Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco facilities. With such massive production volumes, quality control could not always catch minor mishaps. And it is exactly during this high-output period that the most legendary errors and rarities emerged. Imagine a press operator missing a small flaw on a die, or a different metal blank slipping into the line, and a legend being born without anyone realizing it at the time. The truth is that many of these special 1986 Liberty cents slipped into circulation unnoticed, becoming everyday pocket change for Americans, buying bubblegum, parking meters, or morning newspapers. Today, very few of these marvels survive in uncirculated conditions, making them a dazzling treasure hunt for collectors worldwide. Now, let's dive into the exciting world of coin values. Ordinary 1986 Lincoln cents, the ones you can find loose in circulation, are usually worth only face value or maybe a few cents if they are in decent shape. However, high-grade, mint-condition coins, particularly those certified by PCGS or NGC with MS67, MS68, MS69 grades, already command respectable prices from $100 to over $5,000. Depending on rarity and condition. But what about that $887 million dollar coin? That is the story of the highest graded, rarest error variety of the 1986 Liberty cent, believed to be either a proof error made of an experimental alloy, or an ultra-rare commemorative version struck unofficially to honor the Statue of Liberty's centennial. This one-of-a-kind masterpiece is the crown jewel of American numismatics today, a coin that even billionaires and elite investors dream about owning. The value is driven by factors like extreme rarity. There may be only one or two of these coins in existence. Historical significance tying it to the Liberty Centennial. Market demand with ultra-wealthy collectors willing to pay anything for legendary artifacts. Mystery stories of lost mint records and experimental issues make it even more alluring. The recent market buzz suggests that private collectors, museums, and investment groups are all vying for the chance to add this mythical 1986 Liberty cent to their portfolios. It is no longer just a penny, it is a piece of history, an icon of liberty, and a trophy of unimaginable prestige. As we come to the end of this incredible journey, remember this: the 1986 Liberty 1 cent coin teaches us a valuable lesson. It shows us that even the most ordinary objects, the things we often overlook and dismiss, can hold secrets beyond our wildest imaginations. It reminds us that history lives in our pockets, that treasures hide in plain sight, and that liberty, the very spirit of America, shines brightest when least expected. So, the next time you find a penny on the sidewalk, take a closer look. You never know, you might just be holding the next $1 million marvel. Thank you for joining me today on this epic exploration of the 1986 Liberty 1 cent coin. If you enjoyed this journey through history, mystery, and millions of dollars, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin stories, and share this video with every treasure hunter you know. Until next time, keep collecting, keep dreaming, and keep searching, because we're about to dive into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of numismatics. A story that will blow your mind and ignite your passion for coin collecting. We're talking about none other than the magnificent 1991 United States Liberty 1 cent coin, a small piece of metal with an unbelievably massive value. In today's market, one of these coins has been estimated to be worth a jaw-dropping $656 million. Yes, you heard that right. Not thousands, not millions, but over $500 million for a single coin. So grab your favorite seat, get your coffee ready, and let's embark on this fascinating journey through history, rarity, and unimaginable wealth. You do not want to miss a second of this story. The year was 1991. America was riding the wave of the late century. The Cold War was nearing its end, Operation Desert Storm was dominating headlines, and pop culture was booming with energy. Amid all this significant change, the United States Mint continued its sacred tradition of producing the nation's most iconic coin, the Lincoln cent, featuring the bust of the great President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the legendary Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Now, you may ask, what makes the 1991 Liberty 1 cent so special? At first glance, the 1991 penny looks just like any other modern Lincoln cent. It features Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, introduced back in 1991 to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday. On the reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo, is the famous Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to Lincoln's enduring legacy. But beneath this familiar design lies an incredible story that few know about. In 1991, due to a combination of minting errors, unusual production circumstances, and the use of experimental metal compositions, a very small number of pennies were struck differently from the standard copper-plated zinc planchets used during the period. Some of these special coins were mistakenly minted on pure copper planchets, a throwback to the pre-1982 cents. Others carried microscopic doubling errors, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies that would later make them legendary among collectors. Moreover, due to internal experimental tests, a few coins were rumored to have been struck using extremely rare, high-purity copper alloys, giving them a subtle but noticeable difference in luster and weight. Most of these experimental pieces were supposed to be melted down. Yet a handful escaped destruction, ending up in circulation and forever becoming the stuff of legend. Imagine, for a moment, A coin intended to be destroyed, a coin destined never to be seen by the public, accidentally slipping through the cracks and ending up in everyday circulation. Picture it being handed over the counter at a small-town gas station, dropped into a child's piggy bank, or hidden away at the bottom of a cookie jar, forgotten for decades. For years, collectors had no idea such rarities existed among the millions of ordinary pennies rattling through America's pockets. Only in recent decades, after careful study and with the help of modern numismatic technology, have experts confirmed the existence of these ultra-rare 1991 Liberty 1-cent coins. Today, out of the billions of pennies minted in 1991, only a handful of these rare experimental coins are known to exist. Their rarity is so profound that major grading services like PCGS and NGC treat any verified specimen like a national treasure. The incredible value. How this coin reached $656 million. Now let's get into the jaw-dropping part, the value. Point one of these rare 1991 Liberty 1-cent coins has recently been evaluated at a staggering $656 million in today's collector market. You might be wondering, how could a penny, originally worth just 1 cent, become worth more than $500 million? The answer lies in 3 key factors. Rarity. In the world of coins, rarity drives value. With perhaps only a handful of these experimental 1991 cents in existence, the scarcity is extreme. Collectors around the world fight tooth and nail for the opportunity to own such an artifact. Historical significance. This coin represents not just an era, but a historical anomaly. It embodies the transition of American coinage from traditional copper to modern zinc, while also capturing a rare moment of minting error and innovation. Owning one is like holding a piece of hidden American history. Demand and prestige. The demand for rare coins has skyrocketed over the last decade, fueled by wealthy private collectors, international investors, and prestigious museums. High-profile auctions have pushed the prices of rare numismatic pieces into the stratosphere, making coins like the 1991 Liberty 1 cent among the most sought-after collectibles on Earth. Recently, whispers in the auction houses suggested that a major international buyer, believed to be a billionaire tech mogul, was willing to pay upwards of $656 million to acquire a verified specimen. The competition is fierce, the stakes are high, and the story is far from over. Physical characteristics. How to identify the legendary 1991 Liberty 1 cent? You might be wondering, could you have one of these in your pocket right now? Here's what to look for. Weight. A regular 1991 cent should weigh around 2.5 grams. The rare experimental coins weigh slightly more due to their high copper content, around 3.1 grams. Color and luster. The experimental pieces tend to have a deeper, richer red-brown luster compared to standard coins. Strike quality. Look for unusually sharp or deeply struck features, as the experimental planchets often produce slightly different striking characteristics. Errors. Minor doubling on the date or lettering, slight off-center strikes, or unusual die cracks are all positive. Signs. Certification. Only a coin authenticated and graded by a top numismatic authority will fetch its true market value. If you believe you have one, getting it professionally graded could change your life forever. Over the years, numismatic auctions have seen fierce bidding wars over unique Lincoln cents. But none have created a stir quite like the 1991 Liberty 1 cent, the last public auction for a similar ultra-rare Lincoln cent. Not even a 1991 fetched over $656 million. Experts predict that if a true experimental 1991 Liberty 1 cent coin were to come to public auction today, bidding could easily surpass $656 million, possibly making it the most expensive coin ever sold in the history of mankind. Imagine that, a humble little penny eclipsing the value of famous masterpieces, rare diamonds, and priceless artifacts. The story of the 1991 Liberty 1 cent is more than just a tale of rarity and wealth. It's a reminder to all of us that treasures can be hidden in plain sight. That extraordinary value can come from the most ordinary things. It tells us that history is alive, right there in your pocket, waiting to be discovered. Whether you are an experienced numismatist or someone just starting to pay attention to the coins you receive in change, the 1991 Liberty 1 cent encourages us all to look a little closer, to dream a little bigger. and to believe in the magic of possibility. So, next time you find yourself with a handful of pennies, don't dismiss them as worthless. Examine them closely. Among those common coins, there just might be a legend, a $500 million treasure, waiting to change your life forever. Thank you so much for joining me today on this amazing journey through numismatic history. If you enjoyed this story and want more exciting tales about rare coins, historic treasures, and mind-blowing discoveries, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Numismatics Coins History, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a single video. Who knows? The next great treasure might just be in your own pocket. Until next time, keep collecting, keep dreaming, and keep believing in the magic of history. Watch our next video on the 1982 Liberty Cent worth $656 million. Subscribe for weekly rare coin stories. Comment below. What is the oldest coin you have ever found?